This is just a bit of a hobby for us now, these few cows. A few years ago when the boys were young, we calved 1,100 cows.
What? 1,100?
In 45 days, so we were having 50 calves a day. We do the control grazing. So when they come in, when we get our custom cattle in, we'll take and have a small pasture and we'll keep moving them about every 3 days. Yeah, we've got about 2,000 acres here that goes right up into the hills there. And so we'll start grazing here and we'll just keep moving on until we get up to the other end, and then we'll turn around, come back, start over again. We always use the horses to ride out and check them, and we use the horses all the time. The three processes: there's a cow-calf man, there's a feeder man, and then there's a fat man.
Okay.
So the fat guy has his feedlot, and he's going to put all the last pounds on the fat that he needs to get him to slaughter.
Okay.
So when I'm grazing here, I'm just doing the feeder program.
Right.
And then other guys do a feeder program in their pens. You know, they'll feed them hay and stuff, but we do it in the summertime, they do it in the wintertime. And we got a little cow-calf program going here. It's kind of nice to see them little babies run around in the springtime. It was 1895 when this place was settled, when our ancestors came.
Really?
Yeah. So our kids have over 117 years of history right here, our grandkids.
They're lucky.
And on my wife's side, she lived 6 miles across the hill here, they had 115. They celebrated their 100th on the same land a year before us. So there's over 235 years of history for these kids. We've got one that's still in the ranching business, and yeah, he's trying to all right. It's been a tough go, and one problem we got is now that Red Deer's moved so close, and we got Novacor over here, and our land has got so expensive that you can't increase. So the only reason that we can still run cows on this land is because we've had it so long and we're still doing it. To start out and try to get going on that, you wouldn't be able to do it. It's just too expensive for cows, yeah. We made the deal here probably 20 years ago when the kids were starting out. We had a meeting and we said, well, we should go over to Saskatchewan and divert. And they decided that we'll do anything we have to stay around here, so. Yeah, I was raised right where I'm living. A little house there, I was born right there. Oh, it's a great community. Years ago, when I was a young guy, I'd be riding by here on my little horse, and the lady in this house here would holler out and say, "Come on in, I got some cookies for you." You couldn't get past her. Yeah, I don't know how she ever saw us all the time, but she'd come out, she'd see us coming over the hill. "Come on in, we got some cookies for you." So you'd always have to stop. So then you'd go on your way. But she used to be one of the school teachers from our school down here, and she was a great lady. So yeah, when we were young at that time, there was 50 farm families in this community. It's called Valley Center. And now, there's only, in my generation, there's only 5 originals left. And out of those 5, our oldest son is the only one still farming and ranching. In 2002, we had the biggest drought we've ever had. It's the first year in all our family's history here that we never had any pasture at all. So that was quite a shock because our numbers we're higher than normal because we've had a lot of good years, and then you just kind of keep increasing. So when we did have the drought, it hit everybody. Everybody was the same way. Hit everybody harder than normal. So we ended up selling it. We sold all our cows. Actually, those 1,000 head of 1,100 cows that were calved, we sold them all. So it was kind of a blessing in disguise because we had BSC the next year. And we didn't know how much grass we were going to have, so we took in custom cattle. And we've been doing that ever since. After a trip to Australia and New Zealand, we went to 3 farm stays over there when we were over.
Cool.
And we enjoyed them so much. When we got back, calf prices weren't very good.
Yeah.
So Linda said, well, I'd like to help out. And our boys were gone. We had 3 rooms downstairs. So Brent's in-laws out of Manitoba said, well, why don't you get a bed and breakfast and a guest ranch going? Because they had a bed and breakfast down there, but everybody wanted to ride.
Yeah.
So we started them both at the same time. People all over the world we've had. Yeah. We've had one couple from Germany book this year, and they'll be their 11th year. The bar came from came from the Country Club Saloon in Red Deer. It used to be longer, and they cut it down, made it smaller. We had a guy from Denmark set the cupboards in, because he wanted to be a cowboy too, so he came and rode with me for a day, and at night he'd come out here and work, and so we just traded labor for labor. We'll saddle up in the morning and we'll head out and we'll check the water, the cattle, the grass, and if we need to put up electric fence that day, we do. And if we get done in time, we might have 4 or 5 head of cattle in the pen at home, and we'll stake and rope them for practice. Get the grandkids going a little bit on that. Or our guests, sometimes they'll try it. Normally not on a horse.
Yeah.
It's quite difficult, so that'd be the normal day. The abnormal day would be not to get on a horse. So,
really?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you think you'll never retire?
That I will ever?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. When I'm 80. When I can't ride, put it that way.
When you can't ride.
Yeah.